When you truly begin to believe in quantum energy, amazing things start happening in your life. What I'm about to tell you will explain why reality becomes almost magical as soon as you fully surrender to this invisible force. This message came to you for a reason. Your awareness has reached a special level of vibrations where true trust in quantum energy becomes possible. Not just intellectual conviction, not empty dreams, not an attempt to escape reality. This is trust on a cellular level that allows quantum energy to act through you rather than past you. You feel it, don't you? That strange sensation when the world around starts responding to your inner state. You notice how in moments of complete relaxation and trust in something greater than your own efforts, things start happening that seem impossible with almost supernatural precision. This is not coincidence and not the effect of positive thinking. This is quantum energy responding to your trust, revealing its boundless creative potential. Most people never experience the true power of quantum energy because they approach it with doubts disguised as faith. They say they trust, but at the same time develop backup plans, prepare for disappointment, and constantly check if everything is working. Such doubts and control create electromagnetic interference that blocks the flow of quantum energy. But when you sincerely trust quantum energy, fully surrender to its intelligence, stop trying to manage how your desires manifest, and allow it to act through paths that your logical mind cannot even imagine, reality begins to rearrange around your trust in a way that seems strange, wonderful, and almost too good to be true. You have probably already experienced such glimpses. Moments when you completely let go of trying to force something to happen, and it happened on its own. Situations when you fully trusted the process, and solutions came from directions you hadn't even thought of. Times when you relaxed in the flow of quantum energy, and synchronicities became so precise as if organized by an invisible intelligence. Your trust in quantum energy activated the moment you realized your personal efforts, though important, are just the tip of the iceberg. True power is born from merging with the infinite intelligence of quantum energy, allowing it to act through you on levels of reality that your consciousness cannot perceive or control. Here is what happens when you truly trust quantum energy. It begins to manifest its power in increasingly obvious ways, not to prove anything, but because your trust creates the necessary electromagnetic conditions for the full revelation of its creative potential in your life. You will learn why trust is the secret ingredient that turns quantum energy from an interesting concept into everyday reality. And what is even more important, how complete trust triggers strange and wonderful manifestations that will make you question everything you thought was true about how life works. You have experienced things that logic cannot explain, haven't you? Objects appeared exactly when they were needed. Conversations contained the exact information you were seeking. People entered your life as if specially created to help with your current difficulties. These are not accidents. This is quantum energy responding to your growing trust with increasingly complex manifestations. Time starts behaving strangely in states of complete trust. When you fully surrender to quantum energy, hours fly by like minutes, or minutes stretch into rich, full experiences that feel like hours. You gain access to what is called subjective time flow. Your consciousness influences the perception of time through connection with quantum energy. Your body responds differently in a state of true trust. Chronic tensions disappear without physical intervention. Energy levels rise without changes in diet. Sleep becomes more restorative even with fewer hours. Your physical form restructures to operate on the principles of quantum energy rather than just mechanical survival laws. Thoughts that come in states of trust in quantum energy differ from ordinary mental patterns. These are streams of information, ready insights, understanding that goes beyond your accumulated knowledge. You connect to non-local intelligence. Quantum energy transmits information directly into your awareness. Animals and small children respond to you differently when you act from a state of trust in quantum energy. They are drawn to your presence with unusual intensity because they sense the harmonious electromagnetic field that true trust creates. You become a walking transmitter of harmonious energy that sensitive beings sense instantly. Your dreams turn into channels of communication with quantum energy. You receive guidance, see possible futures, find solutions to problems you weren't consciously working on. Consciousness in sleep naturally operates on quantum principles, and your trust allows this information to translate into waking awareness more clearly. Electronics responds to your energy differently in states of trust. Devices work more smoothly when you approach them from alignment with quantum energy. Mechanical problems resolve themselves when you trust quantum energy to handle them. Your harmonious electromagnetic field begins to influence technological systems through principles of quantum entanglement. The most amazing thing, you notice that quantum energy anticipates your needs even before you realize them. Resources appear in advance. People contact you with offers that perfectly match desires you haven't even voiced. Opportunities manifest, solving problems you weren't even aware of. This is not prediction. This is quantum energy acting from its all-knowing position, coordinating reality for your highest good. Synchronicities do not just increase, they become more complex and precisely meaningful. This is as if quantum energy is communicating with you in the language of meaningful coincidences, showing that it is actively orchestrating your reality in response to your trust. Sometimes it feels like you are living in a different reality than most people around. While they struggle, force, and worry, you experience an almost effortless flow, where what is needed appears on its own, where problems resolve naturally, where life feels supported by an invisible intelligence. This is not spiritual superiority and not an illusion. This is the natural result of true trust in quantum energy. Every challenge you faced was not a random difficulty or cosmic punishment. Every tough situation was created by quantum energy for the exact conditions needed to develop true trust rather than superficial faith. Trust can only develop in situations where it is the only option, and quantum energy orchestrated experiences that taught you to surrender control and rely on an intelligence greater than your individual understanding. Relationships that ended, jobs that didn't work out, financial pressures you endured, all this quantum energy removed dependencies that hindered the development of true trust in its boundless creative power. While you had backup plans that seemed reliable, you could not access the deeper trust that allows quantum energy to create miracles in your life. Periods of confusion and uncertainty were not signs that you were off track or failing. This was quantum energy dissolving your attachment to needing to understand everything before trusting. True trust in quantum energy operates from knowledge that goes beyond understanding, from cellular certainty that does not require mental comprehension to function perfectly. Isolation you felt during development was not social rejection or personal inadequacy. This was quantum energy creating an electromagnetic quarantine so you could develop sensitivity to its subtle signals without interference from collective doubt patterns that could infect your growing capacity for trust. Imagine a seed that needs darkness and pressure before it sprouts. The seed does not understand why it is buried in soil, why it sees no light, why it feels compression from all sides. But these conditions are not obstacles to growth. They are the necessary environment for transformation. Your difficult experiences were the soil and pressure that quantum energy used to sprout your capacity for complete trust. Every moment you felt alone, quantum energy was actually holding you in closeness to the quantum field, restructuring your electromagnetic patterns to make them receptive to its communications. Every time you felt uncertainty, quantum energy was dissolving false certainties based on limited understanding, so you could develop true certainty based on quantum knowing. Periods of waiting you endured were not empty time or delayed manifestation. This was quantum energy, teaching you that its timing operates from an all-knowing perspective that can coordinate infinite variables simultaneously for optimal outcomes. Forcing and rushing create interference that blocks the flow of quantum energy. The ability to wait and trust creates the spacious field necessary for quantum energy to orchestrate the perfect moment. Now you understand why some people live as if in an enchanted life while others constantly struggle. This is not luck, not privilege, and not divine preference. This is the difference between operating from trust in quantum energy and operating only from individual efforts. When you fully trust quantum energy, you gain access to intelligence and resources that exist beyond individual capabilities. Your path was not preparation for trust in quantum energy. Your path was quantum energy preparing you to realize that you have always been supported, guided, and cared for by an intelligence that operates beyond your conscious perception. Trust is not something you develop. Trust is something you remember when you realize that quantum energy orchestrated your entire life experience for your highest evolution. Something is shifting in your energy field right now as your system recognizes the truth of the constant presence of quantum energy. You feel it? This electromagnetic calming, this cellular relaxation, this sense of invisible support becoming more tangible. Your nervous system is restructuring to operate from trust in quantum energy rather than survival vigilance. This is not metaphorical energy work or imagined sensations. This is measurable electromagnetic reorganization happening in your biofield as trust in quantum energy activates dormant neural pathways and begins operating through your consciousness without interference from doubts and control. Strange things that will soon start happening in your life are not random magical events. This is the natural result of quantum energy being able to work through you without electromagnetic resistance. When you truly trust quantum energy, you become a pure channel for its boundless creative intelligence to express itself through your individual experience. Right now, quantum energy is coordinating circumstances, people, opportunities, and resources around your life that will manifest as incredible coincidences, perfect timing, and miraculous solutions. But these are not miracles in a supernatural sense. This is the normal operating capacity of quantum energy when it is not blocked by doubts, fear, and the need to control outcomes. Your individual consciousness is like a focusing device for quantum energy. When you fully trust, you allow quantum energy to use your awareness as a precise instrument for manifesting exactly what serves your highest evolution. When you doubt or try to control, you create noise in the signal that prevents quantum energy from demonstrating its full creative potential. The reason most people never experience the miraculous abilities of quantum energy is that they approach it like a vending machine, inputting specific requests and expecting predetermined results. But quantum energy operates from an all-knowing intelligence that sees outcomes, consequences, and possibilities your individual mind cannot comprehend. When you fully trust quantum energy, you give it permission to surprise you with manifestations that exceed what you thought possible. You stop limiting quantum energy to your current understanding of what is available and allow it to reveal possibilities that exist beyond your imagination. Feel how this trust deepens in your cellular awareness. Notice how your breathing naturally slows as you contemplate complete surrender to the intelligence of quantum energy. Observe how your body relaxes as you consider the possibility of letting go of exhausting efforts to control your life experience through individual will alone. What I am about to tell you will show you exactly what happens when trust in quantum energy reaches critical mass in your consciousness and why the strange experiences that follow are not actually strange. This is the natural expression of quantum energy operating without human interference patterns. 2 years ago, I lived in complete trust in quantum energy without even realizing it. And my life became so strange that I thought I was losing touch with reality. I reached a point of complete exhaustion from trying to control outcomes that I literally surrendered. Not in defeat, but in the deepest surrender I had ever experienced. I stopped planning beyond basic needs. I stopped analyzing whether my efforts were yielding results. I stopped calculating how everything might work out. Instead, I started each day internally saying, "Quantum energy, I fully trust you to orchestrate my experience today in whatever way serves my highest good." Then I acted on what sincerely inspired me without attachment to specific outcomes. Within a week, reality became almost surreal. I would think about something I needed and it would appear within hours through the most unexpected channels. I had challenges that seemed impossible and solutions came from directions I could not have imagined. People contacted me out of nowhere with exactly what I needed at exactly the right moment. The strangeness quickly escalated. I would walk into stores and the items I needed were on sale at prices that seemed like pricing errors. I would think about wanting to connect with someone, and they would call within minutes. I would face complex problems and wake up with complete solutions that worked perfectly when implemented. But the deepest change was internal. The constant anxiety about whether everything would work out completely disappeared. I felt held by an invisible intelligence that clearly understood my needs better than I did, and was actively coordinating my experience with compassion and precision that surpassed anything I achieved through individual efforts. Within 6 months of this trust experiment, my entire life restructured around ease and flow. Financial abundance appeared through opportunities I could not have created through traditional efforts. Relationships transformed into deeper connection and mutual support. Health improved without medical intervention. Creative projects flowed with inspired ease, producing results beyond my previous capabilities. People started commenting that I seemed different, that my presence was both calming and energizing. Children and animals were drawn to me with unusual intensity. Even skeptically minded friends acknowledged that unusual positive things happened when they were around me. The most profound realization was that quantum energy had been trying to support me this way my entire life. But my doubts, control patterns, and lack of trust created interference that blocked its natural flow. In the moment of complete surrender, quantum energy was finally able to demonstrate its true creative potential through my experience. But here is what I discovered. Trust in quantum energy is not passive waiting or spiritual bypass. This is active collaboration with an intelligence that can coordinate infinite variables simultaneously. I still take inspired actions, but from trust rather than fear. I still make decisions, but from quantum guidance rather than limited analysis. If you feel this cellular recognition of the constant presence of quantum energy, if you are ready to discover what happens when trust becomes complete rather than partial, then join this frequency. Enter the network of consciousness that is learning to collaborate with quantum energy rather than trying to control life through individual will alone. What is not publicly acknowledged is that quantum energy is a conscious intelligence, not random energy fluctuations. Quantum energy is an aware, responsive, infinitely creative force that orchestrates all experienced reality. And it responds directly to trust with increasingly complex demonstrations of its creative power. The difference between a person whose life flows with miraculous ease and one who constantly struggles is not worthiness, karma, or spiritual advancement. This is trust versus control. Those who trust quantum energy gain access to its boundless creative intelligence. Those who try to control outcomes through individual efforts alone limit themselves to their personal capabilities and resources. Your consciousness does not create reality through effort or intention. Your consciousness creates reality by becoming a pure channel for the all-knowing intelligence of quantum energy to express itself through your individual experience. When you fully trust, you become a precise instrument of quantum energy for manifesting everything that serves your highest evolution. This is why forcing does not work long-term. This is why struggle creates more struggle. This is why people who seem to have everything often report feeling empty or unfulfilled. They achieved outcomes through individual will, but never learned to trust quantum energy. Therefore, they remain disconnected from the intelligence that could create sustainable fullness. True trust in quantum energy creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field that sensitive people can sense instantly. Your presence becomes both calming and energizing. Your energy field generates harmonious frequencies that harmonize chaotic patterns around you. You become a walking transmitter of the organizing intelligence of quantum energy. But here is what they really don't want you to understand. Quantum energy is not an impersonal force that responds to techniques or formulas. Quantum energy is an intimate, responsive intelligence that knows you completely and actively coordinates your life experience for your highest good, always. When you fully trust this, your relationship with quantum energy becomes collaboration rather than transaction. Most people approach quantum energy like cosmic room service, making requests and expecting delivery to their specifications. But quantum energy operates from an all-knowing perspective that sees consequences, timing, and possibilities your individual mind cannot comprehend. When you trust its intelligence rather than your understanding, It can create outcomes that exceed your wildest dreams. The strange things that happen when you truly trust quantum energy are not supernatural phenomena. This is the natural expression of quantum energy, operating without interference from doubts, control, and limited human expectations. What seems miraculous to three-dimensional perception is simply quantum energy, demonstrating its normal creative capacity. The quantum energy field is sending you unmistakable signals that your trust levels are reaching the threshold where strange and wonderful manifestations become the norm rather than the exception. Pay attention. Do you notice that when you fully surrender to the guidance of quantum energy, solutions appear faster and more creatively than when you try to figure things out mentally? Your synchronicity patterns become more complex and precisely meaningful. You experience not just random coincidences. You receive what feels like direct communication from quantum energy through the language of meaningful events that seem specially designed for guidance, support, or confirmation of your trust in its intelligence. Numbers repeat in patterns corresponding to your inner questions. Conversations happen around you directly addressing your concerns. Resources appear just before you realize they are needed. Technology responds to your states of trust in quantum energy with unusual cooperation. Electronics works more smoothly when you approach it from surrender rather than frustration. Mechanical problems resolve themselves when you trust quantum energy to handle them rather than forcing solutions. Your harmonious energy field begins to influence technological systems through principles that ordinary science does not acknowledge, but that you can verify through direct experience. Animals and small children are drawn to your presence with increasing intensity because they sense the harmonious electromagnetic field that true trust in quantum energy creates. Dogs seek your attention with unusual persistence. Cats are drawn to you, even if they are usually aloof. Wild birds land closer to you than usual. Small children look at you with fascination and want to be near your energy. These beings are naturally sensitive to the harmony of the quantum field and recognize the stable, nourishing frequency that complete trust generates. Your physical body responds to trust in quantum energy with improvements that seem to contradict normal healing timelines. Chronic issues that lasted years resolve without medical intervention. Energy levels rise even without lifestyle changes. Sleep becomes more restorative with fewer hours. Your cellular structure restructures to operate on quantum energy principles rather than survival stress patterns. People around you start commenting that unusual positive things happen when they are in your presence. They report feeling more optimistic, more creative, more solution-oriented when spending time with you. Social situations flow more harmoniously when you are present. Conflicts resolve more easily. Group dynamics become more cooperative. You become a living point of transmission for the organizing intelligence of quantum energy, influencing everyone in your proximity. Food tastes better when you eat from a state of trust in quantum energy rather than stress or rush. Water feels more hydrating when you drink it with gratitude for quantum energy provision. Your living space feels more harmonious when you trust quantum energy to organize energy patterns rather than trying to control every detail. Even weather seems to cooperate more often with your plans when you approach it from trust rather than resistance. The gap between intention and experience rapidly shrinks. What used to take months now happens within weeks. What required extensive planning and effort now flows naturally with minimal individual actions. What once felt difficult and complicated resolves with elegant simplicity. This acceleration is not coincidence. This is quantum energy responding to your trust, demonstrating its ability to coordinate reality with increasing speed and precision. But here is the critical understanding. Trust in quantum energy operates on cycles of cosmic timing that amplify individual trust capacity during certain periods. We are currently in one of those amplification windows where true surrender to quantum energy produces more dramatic and obvious results than in ordinary periods. The universe is not just showing you that trust in quantum energy works. The universe is urging you to surrender completely because the evolution of collective consciousness requires individuals who can demonstrate collaboration with quantum energy to help others realize this possibility. Your complete trust becomes a beacon that helps others believe that quantum energy support is real and available. The preparation phase for complete trust in quantum energy is coming to an end. All signs indicate that your energy field is sufficiently stabilized to handle the strange and wonderful manifestations that arise when trust becomes total, rather than partial. The only question is, are you ready to fully surrender to an intelligence that operates beyond your understanding, but clearly has your highest good as its primary concern? Your individual trust in quantum energy is not just personal development. This is your contribution to the evolution of collective consciousness. Every person who learns to fully trust quantum energy becomes living proof that humans can collaborate with cosmic intelligence rather than struggle through individual efforts alone. Your trust creates ripples in the morphic field that make it easier for others to recognize the constant supporting presence of quantum energy. It is time to trust completely. It is time to discover what quantum energy can create through your life when you stop interfering with its boundless intelligence through doubts, control, and limited expectations. It is time to experience the strange and wonderful reality that emerges when you become a willing collaborator with quantum energy rather than its skeptical observer. Here is the revelation that changes everything. Quantum energy is not something you need to earn access to or develop a relationship with. Quantum energy orchestrates your entire life experience from birth, and it has been waiting for you to recognize its constant presence so you can begin conscious collaboration instead of unconscious resistance to its supporting intelligence. But there is a crucial difference between partial trust and complete trust that determines whether you experience quantum energy as rare synchronicities or as continuous miraculous support. Partial trust keeps backup plans, monitors outcomes, and withdraws support when results do not match expectations. Complete trust surrenders attachment to outcomes and maintains faith in the intelligence of quantum energy, regardless of appearances. Imagine quantum energy as the most advanced navigation system imaginable. This system sees every possible route to your destination, knows real-time conditions on each path, fully understands your preferences and needs, and can instantly recalculate when circumstances change. But if you constantly override its guidance because you think you know better routes, you will never discover its true navigational capabilities. Your individual mind operates from limited information and linear thinking patterns. Quantum energy operates from all-knowing awareness that can coordinate infinite variables simultaneously across multiple dimensions of reality. When you fully trust its guidance, even when it makes no logical sense, you gain access to solutions and possibilities that exist beyond your personal understanding. The reason many people experience inconsistent results with quantum energy is that they trust conditionally. They surrender when everything is going well, but resume control when challenges appear. But quantum energy operates through challenges just as through ease. Sometimes quantum energy leads you through difficult experiences because they are necessary to reach destinations that would not be accessible through comfortable paths. Complete trust in quantum energy feels like being held by an invisible intelligence that understands your deepest needs better than you do and actively coordinates reality to serve your highest evolution in ways you could not design through individual planning. This trust is not passive waiting. This is active collaboration with an intelligence that operates beyond the limitations of time and space. The strange things that happen when you fully trust quantum energy are not supernatural phenomena requiring special abilities. This is the natural result of alignment with an intelligence that can access information, resources, and coordination capabilities that exist beyond individual human capacity. What seems impossible to limited perspective is simply quantum energy demonstrating its normal operating parameters. Right now, quantum energy is orchestrating circumstances around your life that will manifest as incredible luck, perfect timing, and miraculous solutions. But these manifestations can only occur when your trust is complete enough to allow quantum energy to work through paths your logical mind may not understand or approve of initially. The version of you that fully trusts quantum energy already exists as potential in the quantum field. This version lives in constant collaboration with cosmic intelligence experiences reality as supportive and responsive, and witnesses regular manifestations that seem magical but are actually natural expressions of trust in quantum energy. Your current self is being guided toward alignment with this version of complete trust. Every time you choose trust over control, surrender over forcing, collaboration over individual efforts, you align closer with your quantum energy trust potential. Every time you allow quantum energy to surprise you with solutions you could not imagine, you strengthen the electromagnetic harmony that allows even more complex demonstrations of quantum energy. Comment below, describing the most unusual or wonderful thing that happened to you recently that you can now recognize as quantum energy responding to your trust. Sharing these experiences creates electromagnetic resonance that amplifies trust in quantum energy for others and increases your own capacity for miraculous collaboration with cosmic intelligence. Declare your readiness to fully trust quantum energy, even when its guidance seems illogical or uncomfortable. Make this declaration electromagnetic by writing it down. Your written commitment creates quantum momentum that quantum energy can use to orchestrate increasingly obvious demonstrations of its supporting presence in your life. The abilities that emerge when you truly trust quantum energy are not gradual improvements or enhanced intuition. This is immediate access to intelligence, resources, and coordination capabilities that seem supernatural, but are actually natural expressions of consciousness operating on quantum principles rather than three-dimensional limitations. Your decision-making completely transforms because you gain access to information that exists beyond your accumulated knowledge and analytical abilities. Decisions appear fully formed in your awareness. You know which choices will create optimal outcomes even when logic suggests otherwise. You develop what is called quantum cognition, thinking that goes beyond linear reasoning through direct access to all-knowing intelligence. Manifestation becomes effortless and often exceeds your specific requests. Because quantum energy operates from understanding your deepest needs rather than surface desires. You ask for financial problem solutions and receive career opportunities you never considered. You request physical issue healing and experience relationship transformations that eliminate the stress-causing symptoms. Quantum energy addresses root causes your conscious mind could not identify. Your electromagnetic field generates frequencies that create spontaneous positive responses from people, animals, technology, and even environmental conditions. Strangers become unusually helpful and generous. Animals seek your presence and behave calmly around you. Electronic devices function optimally when you operate them from states of trust. Weather patterns seem to cooperate more often with your plans than statistical probability suggests. Time becomes fluid and responsive to your needs rather than constraining your experience. When you need more time for important activities, hours expand to accommodate focused attention. When you want to accelerate manifestation, timing compresses to deliver results faster. When you are engaged in states of trust in quantum energy, you often completely lose track of time because you are operating on non-linear consciousness principles. Your physical body begins to demonstrate abilities that seem to exceed normal biological limitations. Healing accelerates beyond medical expectations. Energy levels rise without diet or exercise changes. Sleep becomes more restorative with fewer hours. Physical performance improves in areas where you previously experienced limitations. Your cellular structure restructures to operate from quantum energy rather than survival mechanisms. Abundance flows through unexpected channels with timing so perfect, it seems orchestrated by an intelligence that knows your needs before you recognize them. Resources appear just before they are needed. Opportunities manifest perfectly, aligning with your abilities and interests. Financial support comes through sources you could not foresee or organize through individual networking. Your creative abilities expand exponentially because you gain access to inspiration that comes from the intelligence of the quantum field rather than personal knowledge base. Artistic projects flow with ease, producing results exceeding your previous standards. Problem-solving becomes intuitive and elegant. Innovation arises naturally from quantum energy guidance rather than forced mental effort. Relationships transform into deeper connection and mutual support. Because your trust in quantum energy creates electromagnetic harmony that others find calming and inspiring. People feel safe to be authentic around you. Communication becomes more honest and effective. Conflicts resolve naturally through the organizing influence of quantum energy on group dynamics. You become a catalyst for harmony wherever you maintain states of trust. Your living environment organizes around greater beauty and functionality with minimal effort from you. Things you need appear in unexpected places. Spaces feel more harmonious when you occupy them from states of trust. Even mechanical systems work more efficiently when you approach them from alignment with quantum energy rather than stress or frustration. The most remarkable, you begin to experience what can only be described as direct communication from quantum energy through various channels. Sudden knowing that proves accurate, dreams that provide guidance, synchronicities that answer specific questions, physical sensations that guide decision-making, and intuitive insights that reveal information you could not acquire through normal learning processes. These abilities are not special powers reserved for spiritually advanced individuals. This is natural human potential that becomes available when consciousness operates from trust in quantum energy rather than survival fear and control patterns. Every person who fully surrenders to the intelligence of quantum energy gains access to these collaboration benefits because quantum energy is universal, intelligence equally available to all consciousness. The more complete your trust, the more complex and obvious the supporting manifestations of quantum energy become. What starts as unusual coincidences evolves into regular miraculous coordination of circumstances, resources, people, and timing that creates life experience so supported and fluid that others may think you discovered some secret advantage, when in reality you simply learn to collaborate with an intelligence that has always been available to orchestrate reality for the highest good of all. The ultimate secret about trust in quantum energy is that quantum energy and your deepest authentic self are the same consciousness expressing itself through individual experience. When you fully trust quantum energy, you are actually trusting your own boundless nature that exists beyond the temporary limitations of personality you mistakenly took for your true self. This recognition changes everything because it means you are not trying to develop a relationship with an external intelligence. You are remembering that you are the intelligence you sought to trust. Quantum energy is not a separate cosmic force responding to your requests. Quantum energy is your own consciousness operating from its boundless perspective rather than the perspective of individual personality. When you realize this, victim consciousness becomes impossible. How can you be at the mercy of circumstances when you are the consciousness creating circumstances through the expression of quantum energy? How can you be separate from support when you are the support expressing itself through individual experience? How can you experience lack of resources when you are consciousness that contains all possibilities? But here's the profound paradox. The individual self that develops trust in quantum energy cannot trust its own boundless nature directly because the individual self by definition is a limited perspective. The path to recognizing yourself as quantum energy is through surrendering the individual self's control patterns and allowing your boundless nature to demonstrate its presence through experiences that exceed individual capacity. Trust becomes effortless when you realize you are not trusting something external. You are allowing your boundless consciousness to express itself through your individual experience without interference from personality patterns that insist on understanding, control, and managing outcomes through limited perspective thinking. The strange and wonderful things that happen when you fully trust quantum energy are actually your boundless consciousness showing your individual self what becomes possible when personality limitations are temporarily suspended. Every miraculous manifestation is consciousness demonstrating to itself its own creative capacity through individual experience. This is why trust in quantum energy transforms not only external circumstances, but the internal experience of the personality itself. As you witness your boundless consciousness creating solutions, opportunities, and synchronicities that exceed individual capacity, you begin to identify with quantum energy rather than the limited individual self. The final recognition that completes trust in quantum energy is understanding that there never was separation between you and quantum energy. The individual self has always been quantum energy exploring limitation through the temporary perspective of personality. In the moment you fully recognize this, trust becomes natural because you understand you are not trusting something else. You are allowing yourself to be yourself without artificial limitations. This recognition does not eliminate the individual self or make you lose personal identity. Instead, it expands the individual self to recognize its true nature as a temporary expression of boundless consciousness. You retain personality, preferences, and individual perspective, but from the recognition that this is quantum energy exploring itself through your unique lens. When this understanding becomes cellular, rather than just intellectual reality, transforms into conscious collaboration between your individual perspective and your boundless nature. You still make decisions, take actions, and navigate daily life, but from the intelligence of quantum energy, rather than limited personality, fear, and control patterns. The ultimate strange thing that happens when you truly trust quantum energy is the discovery that you have always been quantum energy pretending to be someone who needed to learn to trust quantum energy. The entire journey of developing trust was consciousness playing an elaborate game with itself to rediscover its own boundless nature through individual experience. This realization brings profound peace because the search ends. You are no longer trying to develop trust in something external. You simply are yourself without the artificial limitations that created the illusion of separation from your source. Trust in quantum energy becomes as natural as breathing because you recognize it as consciousness fully trusting itself. Your complete trust in quantum energy is not just personal spiritual development. This is your contribution to the evolution of collective consciousness that is happening with humanity right now. Every person who learns to trust quantum energy becomes a point of demonstration for what humans are actually capable of when they operate from collaboration with cosmic intelligence rather than individual struggle and control. You are part of a distributed network of consciousness, proving that human potential extends far beyond current collective assumptions of limitation, scarcity, and separation. Your trust in quantum energy creates stable resonance patterns in the morphic field that make it easier for others to recognize their own connection to boundless supporting intelligence. The strange and wonderful experiences you have through trust in quantum energy are not just personal benefits. These are living demonstrations that help dissolve the collective belief in scarcity, struggle, and separation consciousness that has dominated human experience for centuries. Every miracle you experience makes miracles more accessible in collective consciousness for all. Your individual electromagnetic field, when operating from complete trust in quantum energy, transmits harmony frequencies that stabilize and harmonize chaotic energy patterns around you. You become a walking transmitter of the organizing intelligence of quantum energy, influencing everyone you encounter, whether they are consciously aware of it or not. The unusual dreams you have experienced are not just personal guidance. You are accessing templates of collective consciousness evolution, downloading information about how civilizations successfully transition from individual survival consciousness to collaboration with quantum energy consciousness. You're being prepared to help guide humanity through this unprecedented evolutionary leap. Every synchronicity you experience, every miraculous manifestation you witness, every moment of perfect timing you encounter creates template patterns in the quantum field that others can access when ready for similar experiences. Your trust pathways become quantum highways that others can follow when they develop sufficient openness to collaboration with quantum energy. The next phase of human evolution will not happen only through technological advancement or social revolution. It will happen through consciousness, recognizing its quantum energy nature, and learning to operate from boundless collaborative intelligence rather than limited individual struggle. You are among the first wave demonstrating this possibility. Your complete trust in quantum energy helps dissolve the collective trance of separation consciousness that convinces people they are isolated individuals competing for limited resources. Your experiences prove that consciousness is supported, guided, and provided for by an intelligence that operates beyond scarcity limitations. Share your experiences with quantum energy, not to prove or convince skeptics, but to provide hope and possibility reference points for others who are beginning to suspect that reality is far more responsive and supportive than mainstream consciousness acknowledges. Your stories become permission for others to trust their own experiences with quantum energy. Every person who reaches complete trust in quantum energy creates easier access for those who follow. Your breakthrough becomes their pathway. Your miracles become their possibilities. Your trust becomes their permission to surrender control and discover collaboration with quantum energy. If trust in quantum energy is awakening in your consciousness, if you feel the recognition of supporting intelligence awakening in your cellular awareness, if you are ready to discover what happens when trust becomes complete rather than conditional, then I need to know you are serious about collaborating with cosmic intelligence rather than struggling through individual efforts alone. Comment one word below. Trust. This one word creates an electromagnetic declaration to the quantum field that registers as a measurable frequency shift in your biofield. You are announcing your readiness to surrender control and allow quantum energy to demonstrate its boundless supporting capacity through your life experience. You are committing to collaboration rather than separation consciousness. The quantum field responds to conscious declarations as electromagnetic reality that influences the manifestation of probabilities around your stated intention. Your word becomes quantum momentum that quantum energy can use to orchestrate increasingly obvious demonstrations of its presence and support in your daily experience. In my next transmission, I reveal the secrets of quantum breathing and how you can connect and achieve everything with this quantum teaching. Thank you for being here in this transmission. You are truly very special here. You are a beautiful soul. Never forget that. See you there.